You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Ian, look at this.
What, it's a police box. What on earth's he doing here? Well, these things are usually on the street. I feel it. Feel it, you feel it?
Faint vibration.
It's alive.
Earth Station Who, a fun mashup celebrating nearly 50 years of Doctor Who universe. Hold tight. You never know where the TARDIS is going next.
Hey there, Whovians, and welcome to another episode. That's right, folks, we're back. And you know what? This is a good one. This is going to be great. This is the last of the Dr. Donna stories that we have to review before the 60th anniversary special. We are looking at a Unicorn and the Wasp. It's going to be interesting. The Doctor meets Agatha Christie. Awesome storyline, awesome thought of the process, especially because on Earth Station 1, 2 weeks ago, we reviewed a Hercule Poirot storyline. So it was actually pretty cool to be able to talk about, A Haunting in Venice, which is loosely based off of a Agatha Christie novel. Mm-hmm. So it was, neat to watch this and, have like a whodunit in the Doctor Who style. And we'll get all into that and everything. We got a great crew to talk about it tonight. Welcome, Shannon, back to the podcast.
Hey, everybody.
And we also have, of course, our regulars, Mr. Mike Gordon.
Howdy.
And Mary Ogle.
Hi, everybody. Fantastic to be here.
It is great to have you guys here. This is going to be a lot of fun to talk about tonight. But first, we got a Doctor Who trailer.
You mean the trailer for the comic, right?
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Yeah,
we got a trailer, but not the one you were expecting.
Exactly.
Sometimes I think there's something missing. Like I had something lovely. And it's gone. I lie in bed thinking, what have I lost?
I've got this friend called Donna Noble. I had to wipe her memory to save her life. No! If she remembers me, she will die. So what happens next? The spaceship crashes right in front of her. It's like she's drawing us in.
What the hell? We've got a bloody Martian in the shed!
No. Me. Oh, here we go again. I don't believe in destiny, but if destiny exists, then it is heading for Donna Noble. And I've got a memory. After a very long time, something's coming back.
Who are they?
Monsters.
There's something so bad the TARDIS ran away.
Yes.
Then we go and kick its ass!
Kate Lethbridge Stewart! What do we do this time, Doctor? How do we fight the human race?
Something entered this world.
Oh, but he is recognizing me. Who is he?
The one who waits.
Open fire! Why does it have to be this? Your fight is with me!
I don't know if I can save your life this time.
Worldwide premiere!
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.
I was talking to a couple of friends over who live in the UK, and I was complaining that we hadn't gotten a new trailer, and they said, "Oh, was it Strictly Come Dancing or something like that, or one of the dancing programs.
Yeah, Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah, had their premiere on the 23rd. And they said, I bet you 10 to 1, because it's a huge audience, that BBC is going to do the Doctor Who trailer right after it. And lo and behold, they did, which is pretty awesome. So we got a trailer. It's not for all the specials, folks, because remember, there's 3 of them. I think this is only for Star Beast that we got the trailer for. So we don't know, what the other 2 stories are going to be. If we saw bits and pieces, we don't know. But we got a new trailer, which was frippin' awesome. We got some scenes that we've seen before, but now we have a little more explanation of some of the scenes. And we also have some, pretty cool, visions. We get to see Unit's new headquarters, which looks a lot like the Avengers headquarters.
The Avengers headquarters.
Just saying, now
that they got that Disney Plus money. So
yeah, exactly.
They got to reuse those Avengers sets.
Exactly.
Tony Stark is going, wait a minute, I recognize that building. I don't know where.
He sold it.
Exactly. Yeah. So now we know who bought it. So it's pretty awesome. We got to see that. We got to see a lot of the Doctor and Donna. We also got to see the toy maker. They're not calling him the Celestial Toy Maker anymore. They're just calling him the Toy Maker.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and lots of Neil Patrick Harris. We got to see lots of this. We saw a lot of Star Beast, and it's very interesting. What were your guys' initial thoughts on this?
I loved it.
I was
really.
excited.
Yeah, it was exciting. I was super thrilled to see it. I got caught up in it. It certainly made me excited to see the 60th anniversary. And God, it was so fantastic to see Donna again. I love Donna.
Yeah. Yeah, I was excited. Like, as soon as it came on and I watched it, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree completely. I got goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mike, what about you? You're quiet.
I'm not really big on like spoilers and trailers and everything. So, but I knew that I was not going to be able to escape this segment on the show. So I'm like, oh, I should watch it. So I watched it really briefly. I only saw it once. And, cause I don't need a trailer. I'm going to watch it. Like, I don't need to know. And I got 2 impressions from it, really. One is that it feels so RTD. Like, it really
I agree with that.
It feels like RTD. Russell T Davies is back. Like, I just felt like, especially since we've been immersed in this whole like Donna last season with Donna episodes that we've been watching lately and everything like that. This just feels like right at home in that same space. And obviously, the events of what happened to her character are going to be addressed here, and presumably, from what we can tell, undone in some fashion, which is, I think, something like, if you want to call like casting David Tennant again fan service, then undoing what happens to Donna, real big fan service as well, because none of the fans really appreciated the way that she ended up, her character anyway. So this looks like a big like redo. Like, I'm going to undo all this stuff, and then before we move on.
I hope it is, because that was one of the worst things about the RTD era for me, was what happened with Donna. To just take away her agency like that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like it's going to be a major theme throughout the 3 specials. It almost seems like they're going to just get it done and then move on. Like, maybe, I don't know. It's hard to tell, but it's cool seeing them all again like that. Like you said, I tried not to pay too much close attention and try to analyze it too much, because I was like, I don't want to have any either spoilers or expectations, et cetera, et cetera. So. And I was annoyed that there was no date listed at the end.
Oh, you and everybody else, dude.
Should have said like, available on Disney Plus this date. Like, come on, man. Like, that's, I don't understand why we're still having to wait like that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I know that BBC is notorious for this. It's just something that they do. I don't understand it. I don't, but I thought with Disney Plus being involved, they would have to break that habit, but apparently those habits are hard to break.
No.
Yeah, it's a bad habit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, it's almost October.
Yeah. And I guess the other big question, sorry, Mary, real quick, the other big question that I have looming over is that they sort of always end these teasers and trailers by showing Ncuti, and I'm like, well, how involved is he going to be in these? Like, is he going to be there at all? Or are we just seeing him at the very, I don't know. There just sort of implies that he's going to be present in some way across these specials as well. And that's going to be interesting too.
Yeah, I hope he is.
Yeah.
I do too. I mean, I hope they're just not doing that just I don't know.
Like a tease.
Yeah, exactly. Because the big mystery for all of us, I think, is why is, apart from RTD wanting to unright some wrongs and do the fan service thing and get people interested in David and back into it and all that kind of stuff, the off-screen reasons for doing it, we all want to know what the on-screen reasons for having a doctor reincarnate as a previous incarnation. It just seems like, yeah, that's a big mystery for us. So.
Well, I'm hoping there'll be some kind of explanation about that too during this.
Yeah.
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 I'm thinking that there will be of some kind. And that's the cool thing, they have 3 stories to do it with. Mm-hmm. And it might be in the last 2 minutes of it before he regenerates into Ncuti's doctor. But, I still hope we get some kind of explanation. Because if not, that's like a disservice to Jodie's doctor in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine he wouldn't have some sort of explanation, regardless of how much of Ncuti we actually get in the specials. But,
nope.
I mean, we'll see.
Exactly. So it'll be very interesting to see. I'm curious, and you know what? I'm looking forward to it. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
I'm getting even more excited. And I don't think we've seen everything yet. I think there's a lot.
No.
I should hope not.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that would kind of be anticlimactic if we could watch these and go
it.
yeah,
that was the 60th.
Yeah, I've seen that now. So
exactly.
Yeah,
that's it. Oh my God.
But like I said, I didn't even need the trailer. Just tell me when, and I will show up. I will be there. There's no I don't
give me a freaking date.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yep.
Very, very true. So yeah, here's to hoping and everything. But I'm glad we all enjoyed it. I'm glad we liked it. And give us a date already, BBC. Come on. So I'll be very curious to see. So, Mr. Mike, you were telling us before we went on the air about a comic book trailer.
Yeah, I think just to be, I don't know if it's funny or just take advantage of it or whatever, Titan Comics released a trailer as well, a comic book trailer for the new Doctor Who series. It's, I think it's a limited series that's starting up. And it's called Doctor Who Once Upon a Time Lord. And it's a pretty big deal because I'm sorry?
I like the name.
Yeah. It's a pretty big deal because it is written by Dan Slott, who is, for those people who don't know, is a pretty prolific comic book writer. He's had a tremendous run writing Spider-Man for Marvel Comics. He's written a lot of other things. He wrote the run of She-Hulk that the TV series was based on. And he's a very good writer. I've met him before. He's an excellent writer. He's one of my favorites, and he's a big fan of Doctor Who. And it's been a dream of him to write Doctor Who. So he's writing a series for Titan Comics, and they released a trailer. I posted a link to it in the Earth Station Who group. You can go to his page. I think you can go to Titan Comics as well on YouTube and see it as well. But it's just a trailer. It is a 10th Doctor story, and it is also with Martha Jones. So he's got my love and interest right there. That is one of my favorite companion Doctor matchups. And it looks like it's going to be pretty involved. It looks like he's there's a lot of like old and new classic villains that are going to be appearing in this, and it looks like a lot of fun. So the date on the trailer, this one does have a date. The date on the trailer is that it will be available October 31st, although other sources say that it's going to be available on the 7th of November. So sometime within the next, like, about a month from now, it should be in stores and should be available in most, wherever you get your fine comics. So, take a look for that. I'm really looking forward to this one. I like the Doctor Who comics, and some of them are better than others, but I'm really excited to see what Dan and company brings to this too. The artists that are involved are really good too.
Wow. Okay.
Awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And the Doctor Who comics are so much fun anyway. We'll actually be reviewing one probably after the anniversary. So, we'll start getting into that because I think we'll have a little bit of time again before the Christmas
fill some
special.
time.
Yeah. So,
well, we've got one on the schedule already, right? Aren't we talking about the Doctor Who comics already?
Yeah, we're going to be talking, but that's not Titan Run. We're going to be talking about Starbase.
Oh, right. Well, yes, of course. Yeah. But I mean, that's the cool thing about the comics too, is that you never know when some of these things might pop into actual like episodes. Like we're going to see in one of the specials. The trailer showed a very familiar character for those people who are familiar with the comics, the old classic comics. We're like, oh, we know who that is. So that's cool. That, you never know. So I guess the comics count in some ways too.
Oh yeah. We'll definitely have to wait and see because it's going to be a lot of fun with that. So definitely. All right. Any other, I don't think there's much other Doctor Who news to talk about.
Did you say there was a new Blu-ray set coming out?
Oh, yes, there is. Well, we've known about the Blu-ray finally coming out for the 20th anniversary of Doctor Who, the 20th season. And basically in the UK, they're going to get it before the anniversary, of course, because it's the BBC. And so basically in the US, though, they're going to be releasing the US version of it right after the first of the year. It's been officially announced. So in January, we're going to get that. So I already have pre-ordered it. So I think it'll be like, I'm ready for it. So, but it's going to be great because we'll get a remastered version of the 5 Doctors, which will be nice.
Oh, that's a great story.
Yep.
That's cool.
Well, that's a great event.
Yeah. That's a better way to put it.
It's a great event, full of fan service. I don't know if the story can be considered great, but I know we've covered it but man, I think it's been a long time before we've covered it on.
You get to watch the Master play hopscotch. It's pretty darn awesome. And
that's better than watching him dance to Rasputin.
Oh, well, yes.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I used to love that song too. So, all right. So I think that's pretty much it. We got some, lots of good stuff coming with the podcast. So it'll be a ton of fun, but let's take a quick break and we will jump in a second and we will talk all about the Unicorn and the Wasp.
I'm Drew Leiter.
And I'm Cletus Jacobs.
And we're inviting you to join us as we delve into the dawn of the DC. We'll be reviewing new titles such as The Unstoppable Doom Patrol, Shazam, Green Lantern, Titans, Justice Society of America, and more. We'll also be reviewing DC Television's final season of The Flash, Titans, and Doom Patrol. Join us every week on the Earth Station DCU podcast, part of the ESO Network.
Agatha Christie.
What about her?
That's me.
No.
Chief Inspector Smith from Scotland Yard, known as the Doctor. Miss Noble is the plucky young girl who helped me out.
I see. There's a murder, a mystery, and Agatha Christie.
So, I'm seeing you all the time.
Show yourself, demon.
Oh, there's nowhere to run.
Thrill is in the chase, never in the capture.
Oh my God! If anyone can solve this, it's you.
We are going back to the year 2008. That's 2008. That's
Man,
15 years ago, folks. Oh my God.
the Great Recession.
Pretty
It was
much.
a great time.
I'm going to say, what was so great about it?
Well, we had Doctor Who. We had
that was it. That was the only highlight.
That's true.
That's why it was so great.
Yes, exactly. So we had a wonderful season of Dr. Donna, and this is right in the middle of a great era of Doctor Who and everything.
Yeah.
Because the episode before this was The Doctor's Daughter, and then after this we have Silence in the Library.
Yeah.
And, which, opened a whole nother world for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And so this was nice because it was semi-historical and, era, I should say more era piece than.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was historical.
Historical about it.
I mean, it counts as a quote unquote historical episode, but
yeah.
And so
loosely based on fact.
Yeah.
Extremely loosely.
Well, was the thing about Agatha Christie disappearing and
yes, that's true.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the one thing about Agatha that comes up a lot. Like in movies, there's a movie that starred Dustin Hoffman way back in the day as Agatha Christie. No, just kidding.
It was called 62. No.
There's been documentaries about it. But yeah, that's one of the big mysteries is that she fell off the face of the earth for about a week and nobody knows what happened, and she refused to talk about it. So a lot of speculation. And this, I figured, if you're going to do a Doctor Who story about Agatha Christie, that's going to come up because that's pretty interesting as far as what happened during her actual life. But apart from that aspect of it, very little of this is actually has any truth to it.
Yes.
Are you saying Agatha Christie did not fight giant alien wasps?
No, I'm not saying that because I would never imply that was the case, because who knows, right?
Who knows?
But this is, when I first saw this, I was aware of Agatha Christie. I'd never read any Agatha Christie, but I'd seen a lot of the adaptations and I enjoyed them quite a bit. During the pandemic, I got really into adaptations more so of Agatha Christie, and I watched all the Poirot stories and all that kind of stuff, and Miss Marple stories, and I figured when I'd watch this one again, I would get a lot more references. It would be really interesting. It would be even more interesting to me because I would be able to watch it from a whole other level because I was much more familiar with her work now.
Sure.
And I find myself not liking this episode as much as I did when I first saw it.
It only heard it.
It's I think because it's a comedy. I mean, this is tongue-in-cheek comedy, and I don't even know, but I don't know if it's good comedy. It's satire, and the story is kind of weak as well. And the references are just thrown in there. I don't think they're done with any skill. I mean, look, last week or the last episode, we talked about what a trash human being Gareth Roberts is. So I don't want to go into that again.
No, we did that last episode. We don't.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, he's poking up his nose again. And, but I will admit that some of his stories I really like. Like, I like the Shakespeare Code a lot. That is a really great one. And some of the other stories that he did as well were pretty good. And I really hope to enjoy this one on a better level at the rewatch. But unfortunately, it just didn't click with me. I thought there were some fun moments, but overall, I just thought it was just kind of it was almost like done by people who just didn't really know Agatha Christie, just kind of broad brushstrokes and just threw in names of her novel all over the place without really understanding Agatha
Which is
Christie.
Funny you say that, considering her grandson was there for the read-throughs of the script and the rehearsal.
Yeah, well,
It was interesting. I don't agree with that. I thought it was a fun whodunit. And, each one of the characters, especially the Doctor and Agatha being the main detectives. And I liked it. And I liked how, the one scene when they were, in the parlor and, I know who did it. I know who it was. And, and when she was pointing to each person. And I thought that was right out of one of her books and everything, because Perot just did that in
all the time.
movie we saw, all, the last time, and all the different stories. It literally was right out of it. And even the flashbacks, where were you at 4:15 p.m.? And, and showing each one doing their little, conniving thing and, not telling the truth and everything. And it was like, oh, very well done. Very, very well done. And I had fun with it. And, and it was like, because I hadn't watched this one probably in 10 years. It's been that long since I've seen it. And, I don't know why I haven't watched it, because I enjoyed it. I liked the actors they had in it. And they had some pretty decent actors in this. You have Christopher Benjamin, this is his third appearance on Doctor Who. And he's very well known as, from Talons of Wei Chiang, and
you had Jago in this, right?
Yeah, exactly. You had, but you also had, of course, Felicity Jones in this.
Yeah, she's been in so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as you pointed out, or I think you mentioned this, maybe it was before we started recording, but Fenella Wogar, who played Agatha Christie in this, was in 2 Poirot mysteries, different ones, playing different characters when David Suchet was in the role. And most notably, she was in the one that was called Halloween Party, which was loosely, as you said, Haunting in Venice was based on. So I just recently rewatched that just because I was really interested in comparing the two. And seeing her again, I was like, "Oh, look, it's Agatha. It's not really Agatha, but yeah."
Yes.
I think she's great in this. I think the actors are pretty good in this. I think they just don't know what to do. Like, I just don't. They're like not sure if they're gonna play it straight or camp, and it sometimes it just doesn't fly for me. But I don't have a problem with them per se, but.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting too, because, you had, a lot of the, the basic tropes that, when it was, of course, Professor Peach, dying in the library with the,
with the lead pipe.
It was like, really? Clue? You're going there?
Yeah, I think they just couldn't resist that.
Yeah. See, that was one element where it was that's just a little too silly. For me.
Well, and if you really look at it, each of the characters represents a different character from Clue or Cluedo is what I think they call it in Britain. And like literally, like every character is right along with it. But Clue was based off of Agatha Christie stuff. So it kind of paid homage to the things that are playing homage to her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of neat to see it full circle.
No, agree completely with that. And, and it was, I thought I had fun with this one. I really did. And it was just like a fun 45-minute watching, and Tennant and, Tate are just so wonderful with each other and everything.
That scene in the kitchen.
The charades and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, exactly. And it was like, this makes young Frankenstein look pretty tame compared to Sega give. So, but and it was, and I was having fun with it, and it was nice, just to let, after watching The Exorcist yesterday for Earth Station
it was slightly different tone,
more enjoyable to watch.
No split pea soup. No.
Exactly. Even though you got to basically see the Doctor vomit out, into.
Not nearly as graphic though.
No,
yeah, not pea soup.
Yeah, just kind of smoke.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it did get heavy-handed sometimes with the references. that they kind of took over the story. But, this is, for me at least, the type of thing where you just have to sort of sit back and enjoy it for what it is, because you can't take it seriously at all. It's just a fun pastiche of all these tropes, all these Agatha Christie tropes and Clue tropes. And on that level, it was a lot of fun following these characters around and watching them get into these ridiculous situations. And I mean, the giant wasp it's just kind of stuck in there.
Yeah, the giant wasp was like my least favorite part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't even really have to be there. It was kind of clunky, but it didn't matter because the characters were fun. So on that level, yeah, it's a pretty enjoyable episode. I mean, I'm stupid Gareth Roberts. I kind of like his episodes. I wish he wasn't such a horrible human being, because he's actually a halfway decent writer, and it just is not fair.
Damn you, Roberts. So yeah, I could totally see that. But yeah, I thought it was interesting, and I love the little, nods to some older Doctor Who stuff too. And it was just a ton of fun. Even when he was going through his chest, he pulled out the, the globe from the Shakespeare Code.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. It was like,
And one of those Cyberman chest plates.
Exactly. This is my sea chest. I was like, oh, you could have fun with that one, but I'm not going into that. So, but yeah, it was interesting. And I liked where they were going with it. When they first went into like what they called the plague room or something, I said, oh, she has a hidden child somewhere or something like that. And Judy said the same thing. And it was just like, yeah, probably. And as it played out, it was like, yep, we're right.
Yeah.
So, but as I said, because we're British, that is why. So we don't talk about those type of things. So yeah, it was good. Any other thoughts or final, things to talk about this one? Or
Donna was great in this. Catherine Tate was great in this.
Oh, she was wonderful.
God, when it's so nice to see when you actually give the companion free reign to do something, to be a part of the story. How much they can contribute, how much better it makes the story.
Oh,
that was lovely to see after watching so many where the companion she's just a screamer. Stays in the background.
I love it when Tennant would said, "I need a shock," and she just like goes up and kisses him. That was a shock. Oh,
it worked.
It totally worked, and that was awesome. And kudos to Donna for, using her wits and using the magnifying glass to, basically amplify the light to push the wasp away.
So we know she was a kid who tortured ants as a child.
Oh, God. Yeah. Of course. Would you expect anything less from her? No.
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 But I do love Donna's humanity and how it always awakens the Doctor at some point in the episode, like with how she constantly was just encouraging Agatha, like, you're amazing, like you're gonna be great, and like just constantly like just being a source of encouragement for her, and the Doctor seeing it going, okay, I see it. And like their final conversation of like, well, she'll never know how great she is and how loved her stuff is. And it makes me wonder about future things like Van Gogh and like a couple of the other things of like, is that why he goes back and shows them that they are loved?
Mm-hmm.
If like that moment with Donna changed the Doctor.
Yeah, that's the thing that didn't work for me, because Agatha Christie knew that she was best-selling and that there were being adaptations made of her stuff. Like maybe not right at that moment, but it's not like she never knows. Like it's not like she dies and doesn't find out that she gets popular afterwards. I mean, she knows by the time that she's dead, like by the time that in real life, that she's like one of the best-selling authors of all time. So I mean, she gets her roses.
But at that point in Agatha's actual story, like in real life, her
she doesn't know.
was cheating and leaving her. She actually was having a hard time getting things published. So I can see why they made that correlation there in that point. And, like hindsight's 2020, we know that she didn't really need it, but
I mean, Donna says specifically, like, "Oh, she'll never know that she was like that she was really like she was loved, and that they made like." And I'm like, she does. She will know. Like, you don't have to like tell her. Like, she will know.
Yeah, because she lived into the 1970s.
Yeah, I mean, she was going to premieres of her movies that were based on her movies and her work and stuff. So she was well aware. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, shouldn't know that it's going to last that long. I mean, who could, right? And everything back then is so disposable. I mean, I get it, but I didn't think that worked as well as it does. Like, it works really well in the Van Gogh episode, I think, really well. And I did like the scene where Donna goes over to Agatha because she understands. I mean, granted, Agatha's husband didn't leave her, for cheat with a giant spider, but.
As far as we know.
Exactly. As long as we know. But I did like that moment. And that is, to your point, like, that's a moment where Donna like does actually like you go aside and talk to Agatha and talk to someone in a way that the doctor just can't. Because another scene that I do like in this too is where the doctor gets, I mean, even though he's telling Donna like to just calm down and don't talk about her work and don't fangirl over her or whatever, he's still like, he starts fanboying on her, and he's like, I can't believe I'm going to solve a mystery with Agatha Christie. This is going to be awesome. And she's like, how dare you be amused by this? She calls him on it. And I love that scene too, because he we've seen a few times where the doctor forgets himself. He's so excited about working with these amazing people that he just, he doesn't take in the moment.
Right. Yeah. No, that's totally true. It's very interesting. And, I noticed a couple times, both of them were like giddy, oh, we're back here. Oh, look who we're with. And it's just like, don't fanboy on me. Don't fanboy on me.
It was very much like the Queen Victoria deal where, Rose kept trying to get her to say, I'm not amused.
I'm not amused.
Yes.
It kind of had that same energy.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities, including the whole first part where Donna tries to talk flapper, and the doctor's like, no, don't don't do that. Like he has to tell Rose in that same in that episode too, like don't try to talk that way now.
Yeah.
I don't know if the TARDIS actually, when in its translation thing, like actually covers you so you don't sound like like that. But that's something that he just like don't do that.
I think if it's the same base language, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I doubt
probably.
it.
Probably not.
Oh, you're speaking English? Don't worry about it. Yeah. They know what you're saying.
Like, it's one of those things, if you think too hard about it, it just falls to pieces. So don't it's just a thing that we put in there for storytelling. So
I bet you anything RTD wrote that moment, the moment where Agatha Christie calls the doctor on how he's acting like it's all just a game when, to the humans around him, people are dying in horrible ways. And that's such an RTD trope. He comes back to that, throughout his series all the time.
Yep.
Yes.
Very much so. It's interesting, though. Do you think in the story that the priest was the one who poisoned the doctor? Or was it something else? Why would he do it, type thing? Was he getting too close?
Well, I assume because he was getting too close and he was the one who was going to figure the whole thing out.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, like I said, as a mystery, it kind of doesn't work a lot because a lot of these things don't really fit.
You think it was the unicorn?
Oh, you think it was the unicorn?
I actually think it was the unicorn because I think she didn't like how they were starting to snoop and how they were kind of taking control of everything, and it was kind of impeding on her plans. So I could see her poisoning him to get him out of the way so that way she can make a clean break.
Well, I mean, I can see that. I mean, she does say that she is not a murderer. She steals stuff, but she's not a murderer. So.
But poisoning is a way that women, especially during that time frame, were known to take people out.
Exact their revenge.
Man,
or
that sounds like it's a horrible...
manipulate things their way.
As it happens, just about a week or so, 2 weeks ago, I watched an adaptation that was done in the 90s of Sparkling Cyanide, Agatha Christie story. And man, that just seems like a horrible way to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun.
When the doctor was dealing with it, I was like, okay, they're making it out to be really funny and slapstick and all that kind of stuff. But man, this is a horrible thing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Don't disagree with that. All right. Any final thoughts before we go ahead and rate this one? Crickets. Nice. I like that. That's a good thing.
Not crickets, wasps.
That's true. Wasps. Like, bzz, bzz. All right.
I've got cicadas, so.
Yeah,
apparently there's a whole side story that came out of this. I haven't read it or looked at it, but when the doctor's talking about, and he has his little flashback to when he was looking for Charlemagne in Belgium, there that on BBC's website, they had a short story that kind of told that story. I don't know who wrote it or anything about that, but I did find that was kind of interesting. I didn't know if it was a reference to something else or what, but I did think it was odd to have in there, but yeah, I guess they just had it in there so they could get traffic on their website.
Why not?
Websites were new at the time, so it's okay.
Yeah. It's 2008. We want everybody to go to the website.
Exactly. Go to the website. Yeah. Find our stuff. There you go. All right, Shannon, you got to go first. 1 out of 5 TARDISes.
I think I'm going to give this one a 3.75. It's almost a 4. It's almost a 4, but it's more than like a 3.5. I think there were some things that could have been executed a little bit better in the episode. And I think if those things were done better, I think it definitely would have been like a 4. But overall, it is a really enjoyable episode. I like a lot of the nods to Agatha's stuff. When I first saw the episode, I had just finished reading a bunch of her works and I had just watched Clue. And so watching this episode was very, nostalgic in a sense for me because I knew all these things. And so it's just an enjoyable episode for me. And so it's a good episode. Is it a great episode? No, but it's a really good episode. Something I'd watch again.
Okay. Gotcha. Mikey.
I'm going to give it a 3. I didn't, like I said, some things didn't work for me. I think, I wish it had been a little bit better as far as I usually, I like the historical ones. And I also, there's a character that, or a real life character that I find very interesting. And it would have been, I feel like it should be a great episode. And I feel like if we look at some of the other Doctor Who episodes, which involve famous British writers like Shakespeare and like Dickens, those are much done better than this one was. They have some fun with it, and I think that's fair. It is fun. It's not a waste of a watch because I think it moves pretty fast. So, but it just doesn't connect with me as much as I'd hope, especially considering the subject matter. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay, Mary.
Oh, I think I'll give it a 3.5. I mean, it's a fun episode. I enjoy it. There are problems with it. I think there's some of the references are just kind of shoehorned in, just to have a reference in there, not for any reason for them to be there. I think the Wasp subplot is not great and is kind of tacked on, and I'm not really done that well. But it's an awful lot of fun. Just running around with these characters around the mansion and watching them try to solve the mystery. And the chemistry between the Doctor and Donna is off the charts. They are fantastic. So, it's a super fun episode. And it's like Shannon said, it's maybe not the greatest episode, but it's good and it's fun, and I would recommend it.
Okay. For me, I'm going to do a 4. I enjoyed it, and was it the best? No, but it was an enjoyable episode. I enjoyed it more than some of the other, stuff that from this era of Doctor Who, and, it was neat to see. It was great. The callbacks a little bit. And I love the one line when she's going, what, Agatha Christie is solving a mystery, but that's like Charles Dickens hanging out with ghosts at Christmas. And the doctor just was like,
well,
kind of.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. And so it was fun. And like I said, I hadn't seen this probably in 10 years, and I didn't remember a lot of it, and I enjoyed it, and it was entertaining, and it flew by. It did not drag. And, and that's what I want for Doctor Who. I want it to be something to entertain me, something to have fun with, and something that, I can look back and now say, all right, it's shoehorned between two amazing storylines. You know what? I enjoyed it. And let's, keep on going and everything. And I'm glad we got to this. And, because it's been on our list for quite some time. So it's pretty awesome. We definitely would love to hear from what you guys thought of this one. Please write us feedback at ourstationwho.com. We definitely would love to hear from you guys. As we always like to say, we couldn't do this without you guys. So please, 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 let us know what you think. We definitely would love it. And if you haven't ever subscribed to the show and you've made it this far into the episode, why not subscribe? Come on. We do entertaining stuff. We're sometimes funny. It's always a good thing. Every once in a while we entertain, and it's a good thing. And we got the 60th anniversary coming up very soon. And we got some good episodes before that too lined up. So definitely please join us for those. We have tons of fun and everything. Oh, as a reminder though, if for those who didn't make it to Dragon Con, we did have a Earth Station Who panel. We had a Doctor Who spin-off panel with the Brit Tracks that we did, and you can check it up on their YouTube channel. So just check out Brit Tracks at Dragon Con's YouTube channel and look up Earth Station Who. We're right there. And you can see these smiling faces. So it's going to be a ton of fun and everything. So it should be very cool. So otherwise, you know what? I think we will see you all next time. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're enjoying the fall. Hopefully it started cooling down in your part of the country. Hasn't here yet,
Unfortunately.
So, exactly. It's still the left side of the sun, as we like to say. So it's always good. So until then, my name is Mike Faber. Of course, we had, Shannon Clute, Mike Gordon, and Mary Ogle. And Mary, you want to promote your stuff real quick?
Sure, you can find me at maryogle.com or on Etsy at eVision Arts.
Yay! We will see you next time. Peace, and we are done.
Yay!
Yay!
You have been listening to Earth Station Who, a bi-weekly pop culture podcast dedicated to all things Doctor Who, featuring talent from across the universe. All topics on the show are the sole opinions of the individual and are used for entertainment value alone. You can subscribe to our podcast up on iTunes, Stitcher, or follow our blog at www.esopodcast.com. You can also follow us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. If you enjoyed the show, please leave feedback up on iTunes.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.